Hey, Fort Worth Playboy here. How to build a rotation and not lose your mind should be the subheading. And I wrote a book, how to build your dating rotation so you can run 3, 4, 5 girls at any one time with no drama. And that's the idea of it. But a lot of guys will, when I mention running a rotation of casual dating, casual girls, girlfriend candidates being something completely different. A lot of men, they're like, man, one seems like a hassle already. How do you run 3 or more? And I always convey that running 3 girls is actually easier than running just one, because one kind of has your balls in the vice. Girls are much better at the monogamy management than men are. And when she knows that you have other women in your life, she's more careful. She's more conscious of her moods. She makes sure that when she's with you, she's in her best mood. She doesn't burden you with a bunch of bullshit. She's well aware that if she fucks up and you walk away for a few days and she's not hearing from you, you're not just working extra or playing video games. You're actually fucking other women. So, and there's that competition anxiety, because even if they may just want to keep it casual as you do, they are also competing against other girls for your attention. So there's all kinds of benefits and there's all kinds of competition anxiety that runs underneath that allows you to run 3, 4, 5 women much easier than just running one. And that's the deal. But in order to manage 3 women or 4 women, and I always say 3 because I found in my own life 3 seemed to be the magic number. Well, this is a rule of thumb: is 1 is none, 2 is 1, and 3 seems to be the magic number. And I've ran a couple of polls too, asking guys, hey, what did you find to be the easiest to manage? And it seems to be 3 across the board. 4 can be done if you have a lot of free time. And what I say to guys that really need a lot of variety is, if you want to run 4 or 5, keep your core of 3 that you see weekly. And you can always have girls that kind of like come in and out of town, or girls that visit, or like her parents live there, or come in from college and they're just there for the summer, but not girls that would actually need constant or regular attention. And that's, like where I live, there's DFW airport that you have flight attendants constantly in and out. So there's always people that are like coming into town just for 1 or 2 days a month, and that can work out in your favor. But as far as rotation rules, maintaining friends with benefits and fuck buddies, and this is a different category than girlfriend candidates, who you'll take a little bit more seriously and you'll date them like you would date a normal girl. This is going to be the core of your rotation, is girls that are just for casual sex. And that's what you provide, is casual sex, an outlet for this. And they're more than welcome. They're more than happy to do so, especially for like busy girls. They don't have a lot of time for like drama or a clingy boyfriend or needy guys. They just want to go out, have a drink, have fun, get banged, and then you send them on their way and they're happy for another week. And that's the first rule. It's like 1 time a week, and that's how you keep things casual. Once a week is the maximum and the minimum for hooking up with these girls. And what I always convey is, like, girls somewhat will, after 21, 22, they don't mind a schedule, especially if they're working or they're in school and they have other responsibilities. But meeting that 1 time per week seems to be the magic spot. It's just enough to keep you connected, keep the conversation fresh, and you guys can have sex. Remember, you're not only having sex once a week, you're having sex once a week with her. So you don't have to think about, you're only going to have sex 4 or 5 times a month. It'll be as often as you'd like. But for her, she's meeting up with you once a week. And again, if you can stay off the phone, you guys will have things to talk about. You guys will have some connection, and you can always, refresh, and it's exciting and it's fun. and it's a little bit forbidden. So there's always that excitement of doing, outside of the norm. Girls love that shit. They love doing things that are kind of an outlaw approach, and doing things that society might frown upon, as you well know. And you can help her with that by having sex on the down low once a week forever. No dates. Again, I do say meet up for a drink if you enjoy going out to meet up for a drink. I would avoid any dinners. Do not go to events together. Anything that's boyfriend, girlfriend framed is a bad idea. I mean, you don't always want to drink at the house. It's not like you're a bunch of alcoholics. And a lot of guys do like to go out and meet up for a drink. Then you can come back to your place and close the deal again. But what I always recommend is no dates. You don't want anything that would be framed in the boyfriend, girlfriend, or dating frame. It's always, we're here for sex. That's what it's for. Everything before that should be framed as a pre-sex ritual. No sleepovers. And I've gotten some pushback on this one too. Again, who sleeps over? Husbands and wives sleep together. Boyfriends and girlfriends sleep over together. Fuck buddies and friends with benefits do not sleep over. You're asking for trouble when she stays the night, because it makes them confused. They're like, well, even if they don't say it, think of it consciously. He let me stay over. Is he starting to have feelings for me? Is this something that I want to do? Maybe I should ask him where this is going. And then it's ruined. So anytime, and this is all these rules do, is simply keep you from confusing the girl and forcing her into a position where she asks you, what is this? Or where are we going? Or, do you have something in mind more serious between the two of us? And then she's sad because that's not you. And now she's going to wander off. They all wander off at some point, but still, she's wandering off sooner than later to find that monogamy. And so when girls are confused, it's not good. And that's really what you're trying to avoid with all these rules, is simply avoiding the confusion between what you are, which is a fuck buddy, friends with benefits situation, casual dating, and the boyfriend-girlfriend dynamic. So no sleepovers. Again, I get pushback on this one probably more than anything else. Dudes, they just wander there in the morning, so they can bang again. But the problem is eventually it's going to bite you in the ass. And I'm telling you, this is a fine example of one of those things that I go, I know I told you not to do this, and I did it anyway. And now she's asking me, what are we? And she doesn't like me seeing other girls, and this is going to shit because they violated one rule. And that's a big one. There's that sleepover thing. That morning, there's that intimacy that's there. You kind of have to keep a wall up to a certain extent. So no sleepovers. And if you can refrain, if you can just not do it, it's a good habit to maintain. No daily texting. Again, what do boyfriends and girlfriends, husbands and wives do? They text daily. And it's also bad because when you guys do get together, you won't really have a lot to talk about because you've already exchanged everything by text. You want to remain a little bit of a mystery or a lot of a mystery to her over time. Again, girls become attracted to you. They like you more when you're not around. It gives them time to think about you. And their imaginations will do the heavy lifting for you. There's no downside to giving her some space. So no daily texting. Allow her the time and allow her imagination to do the heavy work for you. You're not going to talk her into liking you. You're going to hang out with her. You're going to have sex. You're going to send her on her way and then let her imagination fill in the blanks. And then the last rule is you need to fuck every time you get together. There should never be any confusion as to what this relationship is. And this solidifies that it's a sexual relationship based off of sex and for sex, and really doesn't go beyond sex. So you need to, when you meet up, you need to have sex. I don't care if you're in the parking lot, you got to stand up between the car door or, between two parked cars, but you need to make sure you have sex every time you meet up, and you don't meet up for anything like exchanging Christmas gifts or any of this other bullshit. Anything would be framed as boyfriend, girlfriend, or husband and wife, because I got to go run errands and do this all this other stupid bullshit together. You should fuck every time you get together. That reminds people that it's a sexual relationship, and that's what your purpose is. That's why you're there in her life, is to maintain this sexual relationship. So those are the rotation rules, the overview. I'm sure there's some that are minor, but these are the big ones. And again, the only reason they exist and the only thing they're enforcing is the frame that this is a casual, sexual-based relationship between the two of you, and it's not moving towards boyfriend, girlfriend, you're not dating. So that's really what it does, is it is to keep you from becoming confused, and then they're having to ask, what are we? Or, have you ever thought about why can't you take me seriously? And everybody gets their feelings hurt, and it's no fun for her. And then it falls apart. So that's what these rules are, is to really keep her from getting confused, keeping the relationship within the right frame. And that way you guys can have a good time. You have a purpose, which is to provide fun. You're the fun guy, sex, and a diversion from her normal, boring, terrible life. So I hope this helps you guys, and I appreciate you hanging with me and watching this. And if you like or are interested in how to build a rotation, you can go to Fort Worth Playboy at gumroad.com, and the book's right there. How to build a dating rotation and how to build a harem if you're looking at something even larger. So I hope this helps, and I hope you guys have a great day.